Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Danny and Juice. How you doing tonight, Juice?
Doing well.
You just got
Doing
bonked.
good. I did. And I'm ready to talk some wrestling. Got some big stuff going down. So it's going to talk about it. I'm ready to dive in.
Agreed. For those of you that have been to the show before, this is our Thursday last point standing where we talk about the week that was of wrestling, AEW and WWE mainly. Every once in a while we throw a curveball in there, but pretty much those two. If you've never been to the show before, on Tuesdays and technically this upcoming Monday, we do an anything goes kind of different kind of games or different kind of segments or whatever that we really just enjoy and have fun. This upcoming Monday at 7 p.m., we will be doing our best finisher of all time tournament with our special guest host, Jay DeFalco, who won the fantasy game from Juice earlier this month or last month? I forgot.
Last month.
Last month. My bad. Sorry, I just need a drink there. And before we get,
I'll allow it.
and before we get started, just a little bit of housekeeping. Thank you, as always, to Accept the Win for being the official band of the podcast. You hear their songs before and after the show and during the break. And if you haven't subscribed already, as you can see, we're getting up there again. We're at 4 out of 10. We really want to get to 10 out of 10. So if you could please give us a subscription, that would be great. If you have Amazon Prime, directions are in the chat. It's free for you, helps us out, costs you nothing, but you do have to do it on a desktop. So please check it out, help us out. That would be great. Wow. Now, on to business.
So before we get to business, though,
you
one
son
more.
Of a bitch.
Well, we do the deal. We got to talk about it. So quick little plug once again for the Road to All In Fantasy Budget Game. For those of you that have not been on the show before or joined us recently, I have announced we are doing season 2 of the Road to Budget Game series. We did Road to WrestleMania. We're now going to be doing Road to All In. This will begin at Double or Nothing, end at All In. I will have next week the talent pools and points breakdown shared with everybody on our socials. If you want to sign up, just put it in chat right now that you want to be in, or if you're interested, write that you're interested. We can connect off call and off stream, and we can talk. And you can join up. It doesn't cost anything to join. It's just for funsies. We're currently at 9 people, and I'd love to get more. But yeah, right now it'll be a fun time. So definitely sign up. Let me know if you're in. Again, Road to All In. You get $30 million. You budget your team, and you try to get the most points in a week and beat everybody else by the end of the season.
I'm going to take my $30 million and run.
It's fun times.
See ya. All right. Yeah. So for those of you that haven't been to the show in a while, Juice hasn't been too happy with WWE post WrestleMania. I mean, let's be honest, not a lot of us have. Oh, almost got rid of the E. But he is gracious enough to understand that maybe, just maybe, some of you still watch it and might want us to talk about it just a tad. So he allows.
I don't believe it.
He allows me to put it on here. Really, just
you know what, chat. If you watch WWE, like legit, watch it weekly. Put it in chat right now.
Oh,
I want to know. No, seriously, I want to know. If you watch, say you watch. If you don't watch, say you don't watch. I legit want to know.
And for those of you watching on demand that are now watching live, please shoot us an email at thesharpshooters1@yahoo.com and let us know if you watch live. We'll definitely look at those and I can shove it in Juice's face.
I doubt. No.
I mean, I didn't say a lot. I said some. Even one would count as some.
Whatever. Carry on.
So, with that being said, I really just kind of rushed through just what I think might interest Juice, or at least will be a topic of discussion. This week's a little different because we have Backlash, so we are going to talk a little bit more in depth, just because it's a pay-per-view, just a smidge, not that much. And then, and then we get to actually talk full conversation. I get to talk to someone about AEW because he'll talk back, so it'll be nice. So let's start the clock with Smacky Down. And really the only thing of highlight from SmackDown, Fraxium comes out. As you know, they have debuted on SmackDown last week, or a few weeks ago, sorry. and they came out and challenged the Street Profits to an impromptu match, which they won, and now it seemed to be number one contenders against Street Profit. Post-match, they were backstage talking mostly machine guns, attacked by DIY. So the SmackDown tag team picture is still very much in focus, very much a highlight of the show, even though they didn't put it on WrestleMania because they are dumb idiots.
Okay.
No feelings about Fraxium at all. Just wasn't sure. I thought you liked him.
Nope. Nothing.
All right, moving on to the weekend. Before we talk about Backlash, LFG we kind of talked about because you still watch it. We said we were going to watch it to the end, even though I also haven't been crazy about that either. But we had the semifinals this past weekend where some interesting choices. I don't think any surprising choices. I think the show this past weekend, though, is getting more and more overproduced. And, like, as they whittle down to less talents and the coaches take over more, it's just getting a little more annoying for me, at least, especially with Booker and Bubba. I don't know how you're feeling about it.
Oh, yeah. No, Booker and Bubba are being Booker and Bubba. They're being really stupid. And, yeah, the show fell off hard about halfway in. And I'm like I said last week and week before that, I'm not coming back. I will watch. I believe the finale is this Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'll watch that, and that's it. But the whole thing's a big joke. It's a big joke. It's a big waste of time, and it shows you just how much this doesn't matter and how much of a joke Bully is when he puts through BJ to the semis, and then when he gets eliminated and everybody kicks him out, he like has this huge smile on his face and this big joy and says, "This is all worth it. This is blah blah blah." Like so you sabotaged like the other guy on your team's future and career just to stick it to him for the good TV. It's a joke. It
makes sense. I agree.
It's bad.
I agree.
Bad TV.
I do hope though Shiloh wins. I think out of all of them, he was kind of like if I have to pick a favorite, he probably is my favorite on the show. And the women, I don't really know. Neither one of them.
It's probably going to be Shiloh and Xena, the blonde girl. Xena. It's going to be them because they're not going to want to give it to both of Taker's guys.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because truthfully, if it was me, I'd probably give it to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're not going to want to go Taker, so they're going to give it to Shiloh and they're going to give it to Xena.
I will say that this week though, with the promos, I think each promo there was like a very clear winner with each like promo battle. My favorite line of all of them, I really think, was Jasper's when he told BJ that he's a 3-minute segment before a commercial break. I was like, ooh, that one stung. That was a good get. I like that one a lot. And my least favorite was I think Booker. Was it Booker's? That was like so overcoached, and he was like feeding her the lines. Oh no, Bully. Sorry, Bully and Xena.
Yeah.
Where like Xena didn't know what to say. She walked away. She thought it was so cool. It looked really bad. Like it made I think I forgot the other girl's name, but it made her look even better. So it was very confusing to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Not great. I don't recommend the show to anybody. If you were on the fence, it starts good, but then it falls off very quickly and gets exposed for being forced reality television and just not good stuff. It's not worth it.
Agreed. All right, moving on. So Backlash was this past weekend, the pay-per-view for WWE, pretty much WWE SmackDown. Sorry, there was mainly SmackDown matches, but a little Raw sprinkled in there. We both went 5-0. We both picked the same exact. Big surprise there. Nothing crazy.
Predictable.
Very predictable. It was Backlash. We talked about it beforehand. Not too many crazy highlights. Dom wins the Intercontinental Championship because El Grande Americano interfered and apparently had like a steel plate behind his mask, headbutted Penta, and then that's how Dom was able to win. That led to an interesting thing with him, Finn, and AJ, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Other than that, apparently Cena. I watched more highlights on the actual whole pay-per-view because I didn't want to watch it. Pat McAfee obviously got beat up, got a little offense in, got a handshake from Gunther at the end to show a sign of respect. I figured you'd love that as I see you shake your head. And Cena and Orton went for 40 minutes in the main event. So, very interesting backlash, I guess we can say.
Yeah, bullshit. Fuck that. I did not watch this show. I did not bother. Yeah, it's a fucking joke that Cena and Orton legit went 40 minutes.
I can't believe they went 40.
You cannot convince me that it was a good match. I'm sorry. I know I didn't watch it, but there's no way they went for 40 and legit held it that well. And Walter continues to get buried. He should have beaten McAfee in minutes, and there should have been no handshake afterwards. I'm sorry. And then McAfee's just on Raw, just on McAfee talking like, no selling, like, whatever. It's all fucking.
I mean, he didn't get wrecked. He just got beat. So like, there's no reason to sell anything. It's not like he got like massacred or bloodied or anything like that.
Awful. Everything bad. I'm sorry. Nothing good about it.
Well, that leads to our next point, because with the win, or maybe because it's his rematch clause, I don't know which, but Gunther is back in the world title scene on Raw after next week's Saturday Night Main Event, where Jey Uso will defend the championship against everyone's favorite new full-time wrestler, Logan Paul. And then the winner of that match will face Gunther in a few weeks on Raw. I assume Money in the Bank is just going to be just the two ladder matches and no title match, unless they put Cena on there, which would be kind of fucked up not to put Jey Uso on a second pay-per-view and put Cena on there, but they would do it, so it won't surprise me.
Jey sucks, and the belt being on him is a mistake.
That's fair also.
Of course, they're going to do it right after Money in the Bank, so they're probably going to have somebody cash in during Jey and Walter.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Jay DeFalco farted at that. I think he agrees.
Yep.
Brings us to our next point for Raw, and the only other real significant thing. The only match that I really enjoy. I mean, they had a couple of good matches, but my favorite match of the night, AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. No surprise, huge mark for both of them. They had a very good match. AJ went over, and then post-match, little attack. Penta comes out and helps. The bigger story from that is that Dom was not at ringside to help Finn with the AJ match, even though he's the one who asked Finn to take care of the AJ problem. I'm hoping this leads to like an AJ and Finn alliance, because Bullet Club and they're kind of playing into that. I don't know, but it looks like it's kind of going around that angle, that avenue.
Whatever. We've been teasing this turn for 6 months. I'm exhausted. I don't care. It's Judgment Day.
Teasing the Judgment Day turn after they already did a turn against Damian Priest. Just
no one cares anymore.
Yeah. No, for sure. All right, the last point, I want to end something good. Well, you know what I mean. Like on a note that I can actually talk about, nothing like crazy negative. So unfortunately, this past week, Sabu passed away, and anyone who has been watching wrestling since the early 90s knows who Sabu is and probably a fan of him. I don't know how much of Sabu you watched before 98, like ECW stuff. I don't know if you watch clips and stuff like that, but like I remember first watching him on a VHS that my friend burned for me so I could watch ECW, and I was like, this guy is a maniac. And then when he came to Raw and like had that match with Cena and had that whole like push, I was so hyped for him. Really sad that he passed away. I don't. For anyone who heard Taz last night on Dynamite, I actually started tearing up just like listening to talk and like listening to his voice and stuff, because like it was crazy. And you could tell just how close he is and how affected he was. And you know, all those ECW guys, it's going to be happening. Unfortunately, say a lot more probably in the next few years. But yeah, the wrestling world lost a good one, Sabu, and hope you're resting now.
Yeah, sad one. I believe he was 60, and he just had wrestled his last match about 3 weeks ago during Mania weekend, and it was scheduled as his like retirement send-off. Granted, in wrestling, you know, you could always come back, but in this instance, it was. But yeah, I didn't watch much I didn't watch in the early 90s. By the time I got into wrestling, I wasn't really doing ECW. It was kind of like low key on the radar, but you know, I knew Sabu. I've seen the spots. I've seen all the clips at this point. I know him well enough. from over the years and decades and whatnot. So I respected what he could do in the ring. I mean, he was obviously his own unique brand of a wrestler. So not exactly in like everybody's wheelhouse of what he can do.
Yeah.
But there was an art to the messiness with how he did it and the recklessness. But yeah, he made it work. It was his. And for anybody that's curious, if you don't watch Dark Side of the Ring,
I was about to say, yeah, crazy that he just appeared on the recent one too.
It worked out where this most recent one that aired was about the original Sheik, which Sabu's featured on the episode since he's related to him. And yeah, just a good episode. And it's of course, by the end, it gets pretty morbid because he's talking about, Sabu's talking about death and funerals and stuff like that.
Yeah, great. It was just so weird. It was weird to listen to, but it was a really good episode.
It was a good watch though. So so rest in peace, Sabu, and you will be missed.
Awesome. All right. And that brings us, and I think this is the quickest we've done WWE so far, so we're getting better at it, Juice. I promise you we'd fly through it. There you go, bud. I'm going to say let's push through. We got a good chunk of time before we have to technically hit another commercial. If we don't got to do it, let's not do it. Let's kind of push through it. So, moving on to AEW talk. Where do you want to start?
Let's start at the beginning. That's a pretty good place to start. And let's start with Zach Gowen showing up on Collision.
The fuck?
Ringside during Ricochet's match. And then post-match, Ricochet grabbing Zach Gowen and fighting with him in the ring, taking his leg, holding his leg for the next week, because we have to remember Collision was on Thursday, so it's been a full week since we watched it.
So that was kind of my favorite part of the story, thinking that this man has been crutching around without his leg for a whole week because he stole it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's how they had to do it. Like, they couldn't have him come out with just another leg, or Ricochet had to give it back. They stuck with it. So I really dug that. And then at that point, I wrote Zach Gowen in my notes. I'm like, okay, that's enough. And then they announced a match for Dynamite, which I didn't expect.
Right.
But they did Ricochet versus Zach Gowen in the ring. Now, I was never a huge Zach Gowen fan. I mean, he was only around for like a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it was like an angle for him and stuff, but
yeah, but it was entertaining because he had this stuff, I believe, with Brock Lesnar. I think he fought a few other people. Yeah. I can't recall all the stories, but he was there for a little bit, did his stuff, and I was entertained by him. He was good for what he was. He was an act in that sense, and kind of delivered here with the Ricochet match. I mean, I didn't expect much from him, and he didn't really do anything that crazy. So it wasn't like an amazing match, but it was an entertaining match. Did its job, gave Ricochet some heel heat. And yeah, I mean, so I want to see what you thought about Zach Gowen and the whole thing, seeing him show up for 2 shows and wrestle.
So I think my favorite part of that was everyone's reaction to like the leg being pulled off, and me kind of being like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that before." I've seen that man's leg get ripped off like a handful of times at this point. It's so funny. But no, I thought it was awesome. I am a Zach Gowen fan in the sense that like I enjoyed his cup of coffee when he was there. And it was just a cool throwback to see him. I know they said, and they gave us some info, which I appreciate, that he's been around in the indies and he's been doing some stuff. So it's not like and you could tell he didn't have any ring rust or anything like that. But it was good if this is like one of his, like, he gets to have his kind of last match on TV kind of thing or whatever. Like, I don't know what he's doing from here on. I doubt he's going to be signed with AEW. I don't think there's like a story for him. But just cool little match for him to have, and awesome for his like kids to see him wrestle probably for the first time and stuff. So that was awesome.
Yeah, and it makes you think now. I mean, granted, because we don't know a lot of the Double or Nothing card, but are we getting Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe one-on-one on Double or Nothing, or do they do something else? We'll see.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be the little rivalry leading up to it, but maybe that's a multi-man match. I don't know, but I think so, something like that.
Yeah, so next up now, I have Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. They fought on Collision, and it was a solid match, about what you expect from them. I don't think it was pay-per-view caliber, didn't hit that full gear. But for TV, it was good, and it ended with Marina Shafir getting involved and helping Stat get the win, which led to a little dissension between Willow and Stat afterwards, where Willow was upset, Stat was happy, didn't really know what happened, that whole kind of thing. And also some news with Willow, if you didn't know or didn't catch it. I don't think they announced it on TV, but just before Dynamite went on the air, AEW has re-signed Willow Nightingale to a multi-year deal.
Oh, dope!
So she is not going anywhere. So
didn't think so, but that's awesome.
Everybody can breathe a sigh of relief, at least on the Willow Nightingale front. So wanted to see what you thought about Willow versus Stat with Marina getting involved, and we can bring up the Dynamite stuff a little bit if you want. But
I saw that's on there later, so I'll talk. I think more about the Marina stuff when we get to the cage match because I like how it's being built. I like how they're going to involve them and stuff. The match, again, good. Like you said, good match. Nothing that I was they've had better. Nothing I was crazy about. I was surprised Stat got the win, but for the storyline, it makes sense. And I kind of hope they just don't let Stat get lost in the shuffle like they tend to do sometimes. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm really curious how it progresses, especially with the summer coming up now and all in and all that. But we shall see.
Yep.
And that's all I got on that front. So
really quick,
next up,
I don't know if you saw just Matt, former host of the podcast, but he betrayed us for his child. Just sent us, and I saw it before. I didn't know if it was newsworthy, but Matt sent us a text, so it's just nice to see. Wrestler announcer Jim Ross announced that he was diagnosed with cancer a couple hours ago or earlier. I don't know how long.
Yeah, he announced a few hours ago diagnosed with colon cancer, and I believe he's getting surgery in the next week or two. So yeah, of course, all the best.
Hopefully
to him.
He goes
we wish him well.
And actually, you know what? Since we're talking about it, personal shout out. We'll clip it. We'll send it to him for our buddy fucking Daryl Lewis for having a very successful kidney transplant, and by all reports and stuff that he's given us, he's doing well. So Daryl, we're gonna send this to you. Great job, bud. I hope you're healing well.
Oh yeah, man. Happy to hear.
All right, moving on to Collision. Schedule.
No. Daxton Garcia.
Oh, did I? Sorry, you're right. Daxton Garcia. I got too hyped. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So so Dax Harwood versus Daniel Garcia wrestled. That was our Collision main event.
Yeah.
Last Thursday. Forget Nigel. Give me FTR versus Garcia and Schiavone. Yeah, no.
That's weird. That's what Juice was saying the other day too. Just shouting into my phone. I don't know why.
That's absolutely not true. So Daxton Garcia going at it in the main event. Solid match, but one thing I was surprised with was it was a main event no contest, and excuse me, for the first time I can remember, this is the first time in a long time where like the crowd didn't boo for a no contest. Like it felt like the old school in the 80s and the early 90s clips in WWF where like even if it was a no contest, the crowd didn't care and they still cheered whatever happened like in that moment. Because like Nigel getting in there, the crowd was so hyped up, the bell rang, the match got thrown out to close the show. And the crowd didn't care. They didn't boo.
I really think because it was Nigel, because of the way they really built up the rivalry, because everyone's clamoring for Nigel to get in and even if you're not a wrestling fan, just as a person, you can relate to someone just poking you and poking you and poking you until you snap, knocks off the headphones, pushes him down. What else is the guy going to do? So, like, I was hyped for it. I was like, Nigel, beat the shit out of them. Like, let's go.
Yeah. So now it looks like we're going to get FTR versus Garcia and Nigel, assumedly at Double or Nothing. But
yeah, I
we'll
would
see
think so.
If it ends up on TV, who knows?
No, I would think they're building that for Double or Nothing.
Yeah, you would. So I'd hope so. And it got me thinking about Copeland, because as far as I know, if I recall right, he's not hurt. He's just out selling this attack. So I wonder if he's back. I wonder if he comes back as a result of maybe them taking out Nigel or attempting to take out Nigel. We'll see.
Yeah, because they did mention him this past week, so that will be interesting.
Yeah, and also still, I I don't think Garcia turns at this point. It seems like he's very against them.
I don't mind turns, but for in this kind of storyline, it just doesn't make sense. Like they literally beat the crap out of you. What would be the setup? It's not like you if it wasn't Nigel, if it was more of a main event person, then I can understand. You're trying to get in close with them. You're trying to give them false insecurity because they're a top guy. All respect to Nigel, he's a commentator. You don't need to trick it to beat up a commentator.
Yeah, so and that's why I don't think they're going to do it, because if you were going to do it, it should have been either quicker after he lost the belt to Cole, or they should have been picking on like Menard and Angelo Parker, who disappeared again after coming back.
Yeah, that also annoys me. For a hot second I thought it was going to be are they going to do a 6-man? I'm like, no.
Yeah. So because of that, I don't think they're doing it, but we will find out in due time, I guess.
All right, give me 1 second. I got to fix our bell. I realized it was a school bell. There we go.
What kind of production are we running here every week?
A sloppy one every week. Come on now.
What are we doing?
We wouldn't be us. Shop. All right, next up, collision schedule.
Yeah, this is just a little bit of housekeeping, something I noticed when planning out the fantasy game. Not gonna lie, I almost considered not even doing the fantasy game after seeing this, but we're gonna roll on and do it. But I noticed between now and All In, only 2 collisions are live, and that is such a bummer to me. Not even from a fantasy perspective. Yeah, sure. But you're building to your WrestleMania, your biggest show of the year, and that's out of the next 8 weeks, only 2 of them are live.
That's because of the playoffs. That's because the NBA playoffs. Because
I guess.
And I think what else is going to be playoffs? Hockey? Isn't hockey playoffs coming up around the same time? So all those playoffs, so the schedule completely out of whack. 100. That's what it is, because we're not even in the conference finals yet. So.
Yeah. Either way, it still sucks. I don't like it. I think it hurts the product and the build, because now you take away a lot of that excitement on what a live program is. And one of those 2 live shows is the third, 2 days before All In. It's a Thursday live show.
Yeah, so that's not gonna be anything crazy.
So they're basically all pre-taped. So I don't know. So once I saw that, I was like, do I even want to do the fantasy game? Because half the shows are going to be known in advance. But I'm going to try and avoid spoilers.
Well, keep in mind though, most of those shows, don't they pre-tape them after Dynamite or whatever? So we're not going to know them in advance when we pick them.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
I'm just I'm talking about purely from a fan perspective and a little bit of enjoyment of watching the show and scoring and now any of you guys can go and look in advance and see who wins and loses and score your own points. Whatever. It's me nitpicking.
I was just say I think for us personally though, me and you do a pretty good job of not seeing spoilers or whatever if we really want to avoid it. So we'll still enjoy it, but I do completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I just wish they were more live, because in this day and age, anything taped just is not exciting television.
Yeah, agreed.
And if it's exciting enough, it's going to leak and spoil anyway online. But that's all. Okay.
Speaking of exciting,
to Mr. Kenny Omega. I had 2 notes about Kenny. First off, I noticed that since he's won the belt, he's only defended it once.
Yeah, what the fuck?
A little discouraging. It just kind of sucks that him and Okada, they're on TV doing stuff, but they're essentially on pause until this All In thing is over. So it'll heat up after Double or Nothing, I'm sure, but that's a little discouraging. And the next thing I wanted to bring up was a quote that he had in the last day or two. I don't know if you've seen this about WrestleMania. Have you heard about this quote or no?
Who, Kenny?
Yeah, from Kenny Omega.
No.
So he I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but he more or less said that right now WWE is on a path where any year now, pretty much in the next 10 years, we're on a collision course for Logan Paul versus Mr. Beast in the main event of WrestleMania. And he says that's not good for the business, that's not good for wrestling, but the way WWE is going, that's the slope they're going down, where they're building
he's
towards
100% right.
the main event just being that. And I wanted to get your thoughts, and also chat if you have any thoughts about that comment.
It's 100% going to be sponsor versus sponsor. Who is the better sponsor for WWE Raw, Mr. Beast or Prime? Oh, that's so bad. It's so right though.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
It's just sad. It's really sad, and I hope that they can. Well, I hope they can't do. I don't care at all. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I'm out on them. But it's just sad for the business and the
No, it's
industry
true.
in general.
It's true.
All right, moving on. How are we on break?
Oh, good.
Okay. Moving on. I want to talk a little bit about the Hurt Syndicate and the tag team titles. Um, I've already said on the show I am not a Lashley guy. I'm not a Lashley fan. I stand by my opinion that the Hurt Syndicate being tag team champions is one of the worst things going right now in AEW. I think that match last night with them in Top Flight, I think that set Top Flight back at least a year.
Yeah, they got decimated.
It was a burial, and they just had this whole story and feud going for months where they were like first kind of involved in the Death Riders thing. I was very lightly involved, just being there. They were doing the stuff with Andretti and Leo and and crew, and building that up, and they were going at least something with them. And now they lost to crew. They lost here. Like if there's not like an immediate switch flipped on them to redeem this sort of, I think it set them back a whole year. It was awful. One of the worst things I've seen AEW do in years. Listen, I'm not a huge Top Flight guy, but like this is just speaks to the detriment of the tag division.
I was just saying, I think that whole segment just spoke to it because like the whole segment was two teams that were feuding with each other. You just buried one, and the other one you don't believe has a shot at beating a Hurt Syndicate, and then a third team that hasn't even been on AEW in months, and all of a sudden is coming in and demanding a title shot because they're champions in another organization. Like it doesn't in another promotion. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
I'm glad you brought them up because I'm not going to because that breaks my rule.
I agree. But yeah, it's
a joke. It's all a joke, man.
And what is he? Little Cody Rhodes, by the way, with his little like 3-piece suit following around Dustin. Like enough. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, and they didn't need this at all. And with a minute left, very quickly with MJF.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
I'm at least intrigued with that to see what happens with the contract signing because even before they did the lawyer thing, obviously they showed the lawyer last week. So there's something planned here that they're going to do to try and use him. But now Mark Sterling's involved. So I don't know where this is going to go. And yeah, I'm intrigued. So I just don't know what you think, if you have any thoughts.
I think somehow MVP is going to try to do it where like MJF thinks he's getting the next title shot and somehow goes to Bobby even though he's the tag team champion. I don't know what, but like just because that's all MJF's goal is the world championship. So like that's the only thing I can see them trying to sneak into the contract. Like either Bobby gets it first or MJF has to like make sure he like interferes the number. Like I don't know what it is, but there has to be some kind of guideline specifically for that.
The only thing I can predict or guess is that they would probably do it where it's in the contract that essentially MJF has to wrestle more.
Yeah.
And all of his matches are essentially like maybe number one contender matches for the Hurt Syndicate, and like they'll make it where like, hey, if you lose, like the next match you lose, you're out or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I think they'll probably do something like that for him.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll see Wednesday.
All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and I'm not sure who they're going to fight at Double or Nothing. I haven't seen the spoilers for Collision because they taped it last night, but I hope they're fighting Crew. But
it should be Crew.
It should be Crew, but
I would not be surprised if it's Sammy and Rhodes though, because it's
whatever it's going to end up being. It's going to be the worst match on this show.
Agreed.
Honestly, they've had the worst match in the last like 2 or 3 pay-per-views.
Agreed.
So
I'm sorry, Outrunners, but it's true.
Yeah. All right, next up, the women's 4-way.
So can I just say something first before you go with it?
Yeah.
I really believe sometimes TK listens to the show because last week we were just talking about how this needs to happen, and then as we're watching last time, I'm like, oh shit, oh this is what we were talking about.
The only thing we did say that somebody else should pin somebody else, but we did say she should lose, but
now if you want to explain, go ahead.
Oh, of course. So last night it was Toni Storm in an eliminator match with Sky Blue returning in her hometown of Chicago,
which was awesome.
Azumi Azumi, who just recently beat Mercedes Moné for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, and the returning, debuting Mina Shirakawa in AEW, who's now officially signed to the roster. So welcome, Mina. And I don't know if you noticed, but Mina came out to new music during her entrance.
I did see that.
And when she won, they played her old music. And I don't know if he was just joking or rolling with it, but apparently Tony confirmed on Twitter during the show that he changed her music midway through because he realized the crowd and the online people did not like the new music. I don't believe that. I mean, the music was okay. It would have worked or grown on people, but according to Tony, he made the call and pulled the new music immediately.
I wouldn't mind if that's true. I hope that's kind of true.
Yeah, I don't mind either theme. I don't really know the new one to even care. But the old one, the only reason I kind of like the older one, it reminds me of Pitbull.
Yeah.
That's really it.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so the match was good. I don't know much about Azumi, but I know enough about her. She was nice to see in the match. I didn't think she was going to win. Sky Blue looked a little rusty, I thought. I think she was a little nerves and just being out for almost a year.
I will say though, for the injury she had, the moves she was doing, like I was surprised. Like she was doing a lot of high flying moves. She was taking more risks than I figured you would on your first match back. So good for her in that sense.
Yeah, but I think just knowing her, I think I can just. I could tell like the full confidence wasn't there. She wasn't hitting everything as well as she could.
Juice. I don't know her as well as you do. I know, bro.
I know. It's okay. Don't worry about it. One thing I will say, this is a nitpick. I think the hair extensions on her gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just way too long.
Mm-hmm.
And as she's wrestling, it was just very distracting. The hair's flying everywhere. She probably couldn't see shit at the time. Listen, I'm not a wrestler. Don't know what I'm talking about. So maybe I'm off base. But just watching it,
I agree.
Very distracting. Way too long. Just get rid of the extensions.
I agree with you.
Okay, I have to ask you now. Did you see the red spider?
No.
Danny.
Motherfucker.
Are you even watching?
I mean, I'm not looking for the red spider.
It was right across the screen. So they did it on Collision, this time right in the middle. Like they did it on the corner, then the middle. And then on Dynamite last night, they brought it all the way down the screen this time across the ring with the white background. So you're just not watching, my guy.
It's literally parts that I'm looking away, I guess.
Yeah. Shame. Shows it. He's taking his bathroom breaks, folks, during the women's matches.
That's not true at all. My phone's always with me. I just don't know what. Yeah, sometimes I'm not looking at it.
You're watching on your phone?
Sometimes.
That's tragic. Either way, Tony Storm.
Over the TV. What do you want me to do?
Tony Storm versus Mina. Does he do a show about whatever he's watching?
Nope.
Okay. So Tony Storm versus Mina at Double or Nothing, and I think that this is setting up the return of Mariah May. Hopefully, just to go after Mina, not Tony. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that. I think this sets up Mina for Mariah.
I do. I was thinking that also, and then I'm like, oh, but I don't. But are they gonna do that if they didn't re-sign her with all those rumors and stuff going out? I hope so. It would be silly, in my opinion, not to. But
well, and that's the thing. Like I said, if she shows up, if she comes back, she's re-signed.
Yeah.
She's not coming back, and it's still iffy. So.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. I hope that's the first thing I thought too. So when she won, so I hope so as well.
Yeah. So welcome back, Sky Blue, and welcome Mina to AEW, and hopefully coming soon we get Mariah May back. Bolster up that roster, yo. All right. Next up, the main event for AEW Beach Break. We have the cage match: Joey Samoa versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Title. This is the first time ever in the history of AEW that the world title is defended in a cage, as told to us by Ian Riccaboni. God bless. No Tony Schiavone on Dynamite on commentary last night. Outstanding. Definitely made it a better show, and I'm not even joking. Every time he's not on, it's better.
I did enjoy though when Callis came on and him and Ian were going at it. He's like, "What is this your first time? Are you trying out for commentary? Like, what the hell is going on?" And everyone just like cracking up.
Yep. So before we dive into the match, just another minor nitpick. I probably said here before.
I have one nitpick about this match too, but go ahead. You go first.
Yeah, this isn't really about the match. It's just a nitpick about AEW structure in general. I don't mind overruns in this day and age, but I hate if you're gonna do an overrun, like once 9:55 hits, you don't go to commercial.
Yeah.
The point of an overrun is to run over the time. You're taking your commercial break at 9:55 and coming back at 10. It just doesn't really go with the flow of like an overrun and the show ending in overtime. Like it's almost too planned. And again, I know I'm nitpicking and I sound like whatever, but
no, but it's 100% true.
If it was me, come 9:55, take your commercial break earlier, pace it, structure it differently. Once 9:55 hits at least, no more commercial breaks. You're with it till the end. Mm-hmm. That way I get a sense of, okay, maybe the show does end at 10 this week. Mm-hmm. Maybe the show does end at 10:01, 10:02. But if you're always doing it like that, then I know it's just whatever, nitpicking. Okay, Agreed. Moving on. Cage, do you want to nitpick first, your Cage?
I just have one nitpick.
Go.
It's a cage match.
Yes.
Why are there rope breaks? I don't understand. No, don't defend it. Oh, you look like you were about to. You look like you were about to. You were like,
no.
Oh my God! When he put his hand on the ropes and the referee told him to get off, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't DQ him. What are you doing? I hate that.
The reason I laughed is because I thought the same exact thing. I didn't get as worked up. I didn't get as worked up about it as you did there. But I did think it in the moment. I'm like, this is a cage match. This shouldn't be a rope break. So that's all. I'm with you.
That's
not
so funny.
Not as aggressive. I'm like kind of like a little
bastards.
bit a step down. Like, yeah, I get what he's saying.
Those bastards.
Yeah. But either way, match was good. Mm-hmm. Everyone gave him Moxley shit because he bled. I don't care. He doesn't really bleed that much anymore.
It's a cage match. Come on. If you didn't expect blood, you're an idiot. Like it's a John Moxley cage match.
He doesn't really bleed anymore. In the last like few months, he hasn't done it that much. I think he's probably bled one. This is probably the second time he bled all year. Mm-hmm. So everyone can calm down.
No, I'm angry.
So the match was good. But like here's part of my problem. So they come back from commercial break. And everybody's at ringside. Hobbs, Willow, Marina, Claudio, Wheeler. Like, they came out during the break. And like that's a key drama moment you miss taking your break when you
honestly,
do.
that's why I like watching on the stream. Because the stream, whatever they show is like the Max Plus. So they don't go to commercial. So, like, I saw them all coming out. I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, this is about to get hyped. Like, this is about to go crazy. But no, I completely understand that sucks when it's on commercial break. Because also you can tell on the stream when it's commercial and not commercial, the way they talk and stuff.
Mm. Yeah, and then the ending came. And I mean, I never thought Joe was gonna win, but so Gabe Kidd comes out from New Japan Pro Wrestling, slides the briefcase into Moxley. Moxley uses it, gets the win. Then the Bucks come out. They have a little button to lift up the cage, and then
comically large button.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna blow up like a limo in the back.
It was so funny.
I was waiting. I thought it was gonna be like I thought it was one of those like '80s phones where they're gonna call somebody.
It was so good.
Yeah, so everyone starts fighting. They bring the cage out. They bring the cage down. Everyone's going at it. Everyone's coming out. Speedball. Mike Bailey came out at one point to take Okada away.
That was stupid that they didn't show him taking Okada away. He's just all of a sudden like the camera's like, oh shit, we got to catch him before they go all the way to the back.
Yeah, there's just too much going on. So I'm a little bit confused. Not confused. I'm a little bit at a loss. How to feel about this whole thing. Because, like, here's my thing. I think I need to know or see what the match is going to be for Anarchy in the Arena. Because they made that official.
I need to understand why Gable was there.
So, Gabe, not Gable.
Sorry, Gabe. I'm thinking of Chad.
That's okay. Just making sure you get it now. Yeah, because, all right, so here's the thing. So, Gabe Kidd, for those of you that don't know, his whole bit in New Japan is he was a heel. And now he's really doing like the like his gimmick is kind of legit the fuck AEW. I'm with New Japan. I love New Japan Pro Wrestling. AEW can go to hell. Like pretty much what the fans in New Japan probably are saying. Like AEW took all the talent away. They're killing us. Blah blah blah. We don't need them. Like he's playing that, but for New Japan, that's a babyface.
Yeah.
So that's where he lines up, and I guess they're gonna try and connect it where like the Bucks got Gabe to come.
But wouldn't it be Moxley who got Gabe to come? Wouldn't that more fall in line with Moxley's philosophy than it would the Bucks?
It would, but then also like I don't think Gabe would care about any of this, and that's why I don't really know what they're gonna
that's why it's weird.
do or go with this. I'm willing to let it and let it play out, but I'm not a huge Gabe Kidd guy. I haven't seen that much of him, but from what I've seen, he's got the potential. He's just not there for me yet as a fan.
What I do like about the Anarchy, though, it seems like they're getting the women involved in the match, which is going to be interesting because, like, the way Swerve said it, like, it seems, and the way they're building up Shafir and Willow, it seems like they're going to involve them in the Anarchy, which is fine. You just had them facing each other the entire time. That's not going to be a problem, but it'll be interesting.
Well, see, and that's kind of where I a little disagree with not everything you said, part of what you said. Because if you're going to have Willow and Marina be in there, first off, there's been years they do 4-on-4. There's been years they do 5-on-5. Assuming this is a 5-on-5, with them both in it, they shouldn't just be working with themselves. They should be all out wrestling with the men and doing spots, taking bumps, giving bumps. Like, if they're going to just be the two of them, I don't see the point of putting them in.
I mean... Have they had Shafir take spots from men? Yeah, right?
They did it.
So then there's no reason they wouldn't do that. Yeah, then there's no reason they wouldn't do it here.
They've done it before. So hopefully that's what they're doing. But okay, so here's the thing. So break down the match. So you think on the babyface side, you got Omega, Swerve, Joe, Hobbs, and Willow. Based on who was in the ring last night. That's your 5, right?
Yeah, you got to figure no Shibata, maybe Hook's back in time, but probably not.
So no Shibata, no Hook.
Unless they do Hook in that 6-on-6. Because the heel side have a lot. They got the Bucks.
And that's what I'm getting at. If you're doing the men's side, I mean, if you're doing the heel side, from what they showed last night, you're inclined to think it's the Bucks, Abe Kidd, Moxley, and Marina. At that point, it's barely the Death Riders.
As I say, and Cesaro and Yuta were out there, so like, are they not going to be
involved? What about and then is Okada just not in it? So
and Okada,
I don't know.
Well, no, Okada. I think they kind of showed Okada wouldn't be in it by having Mikey take him out.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know who the 5 are going to be, or if it's going to be 6. And that's why I was saying if it's 5-on-5, maybe Willow and Marino just aren't in it, and they're just like out there, like but not in it. You know,
I would rather them
in
it
spot
because they're going to get involved anyway. So put them in the match; they deserve it.
I would too. I'm with you. I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about this because also it's the freaking 3rd year in a row they're shoehorning the Elite into like the Young Bucks into a freaking Anarchy in the Arena match, and it's like
that's what they're going to be known for, man. That's their staple match.
It's annoying because like whatever. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with it. I mean, we'll see how it plays out in the coming weeks. But very odd moment in time.
I think with the exception of the Gabe Kidd, I'm very interested and very intrigued. And like I do like where it's going. Just the Gabe Kidd part last night was just like, all right, I need more reason. I need more of an explanation for you. But yeah.
Yeah. And that'll come. I believe they'll.
I do too.
It
has to come.
I just don't know if it's going to work for me.
It has to.
All right. And the last thing for the night, just a quick little Owen Cup check-in. I have no notes. I didn't really have anything groundbreaking on it. I just wanted to see how we were feeling after last night with Ospreay and Paige teaming up, having that dissension in the match, and then also with Mercedes Moné and Hayter during the post-match beatdown after Mercedes went after Azumi. What are your thoughts?
So, second week in a row where, like, well, no, I'm sorry, that's a lie. Not second week in a row, but now they're trading back and forth with Hayter and Mercedes, and, like, who's getting upper hand. Now, Hayter seems to be in upper hand, you know, more and more, which is good because that really makes me believe that she has a chance of winning, unlike what I thought a few weeks ago. I still think it's going to be Mercedes. But, like, 51-49. Like it's so hard for me to like say that because they've really been putting Hayter well. The tag team match went exactly like I thought it was going to. I don't think anyone should be surprised. It was good acting. It was good storyline. I really enjoyed it. This one I'm still split. Like I was saying Hangman, and now just each week the more they talk, the more they interact, I'm like, I truly don't know. This is truly 50-50 where I'm just like, it's gonna come to Sunday at like 6:55 and I'm like, Juice, I'm changing my pick again.
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, with the women, I'm still leaning Hayter because now they're setting up they're setting it up very well because now you have Mercedes losing one of the belts, so there's the chink in there's the chink in the armor. Then you have they're building up Hayter hitting the finisher.
I know.
Huge. Haterade, she hasn't hit it, and Mercedes keeps dodging. So when she finally hits it in that match, that could end up being it.
That's what I'm thinking too, man. Like,
so I'm still on Hayter at this point. I think there's just way more you can do with Mercedes if she loses versus if Hayter loses. It's like, oh shit, okay, now what do you do with her?
Yeah.
Also, I don't want all the belts caught up in one match.
Yeah, of course.
And because I still think they're doing Okada and Omega, I just don't think they're going to do the double champ versus champ thing.
Pussies.
What?
Pussies.
Oh, I think you meant me. I was like, I didn't do anything.
No.
And then Ospreay and Paige. I'm still where I am on it. Nothing's changed. The only note I had on it was, as cool as the spot was, where Ospreay went for the hidden blade and then like stopped right in front of Paige. You know what I'm talking about? That big moment.
Yeah.
It was dope. Held it for too long.
Yeah, right? Like why we got
that's it. That's a wrestling problem in general, where like they want a moment to like sit and be for a long time. Like, no. Like you want it to be exciting and real, like raw, just hit it, give it the beat, and then back off.
Exactly.
You got your moment. You had your
could still have that same interaction. You could still do whatever you want after that. You just don't need to like stare at him and be like, you see, I see. Yeah. You see, I see. Like, we're good. We got it.
Again, probably a nitpick, maybe not. But
no, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I would have done it a little bit quicker. It was an awesome spot, awesome moment.
Agreed.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm glad we got like another match and a half for Double or Nothing, but like it's a week away. And
I know. It's going to be very interesting to see what they rush this week almost.
All we know are the two Owens. We know now Tony and Mina, and now we know the Hurt Syndicate are going to fight the winner of a Collision match.
And technically we know Anarchy. We just don't know who's in Anarchy.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Anarchy. Okay, so we got 2.5 matches. So we got more, but just, I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Especially if you're looking to sell tickets and pay-per-view buys, you got to give people something, but whatever.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that's our week review. If you have any comments, please put it in the chat. Please send us messages. If you're watching on demand, shoot us an email, thesharpshooters1@yahoo.com. If you have any questions in general about life, about wrestling, about our interests, please send us a message at that email, and we'll answer them in our mailbag one day. Please join us on Monday, 7 p.m. We'll be doing the best finisher of all time, the first round of 64. So please be there. It's going to be crazy with the matchups. I haven't even seen them all, and I'm already freaking out about what I'm going to pick. So very, very interested. What are you thinking, Juice?
Thinking about what the greatest finisher of all time is.
Oh,
I don't know.
Tune in Monday and find out. Peace out, everyone. Have a great night.
Enjoy yourselves. Take care.
Enjoy yourselves.